Hi YouTube. I wanted to make a little video, kind of like a makeup video for where I respond to a comment where because my other video had such bad audio, right, I'm trying to invest more in YouTube just because so many people have made videos about my story on YouTube, and I think that this is the place where people watch a little bit longer form content where I can like talk about my situation and also like what I'm trying to do to help other situations. Um, and so like specifically, I had initially grown or used social media mostly like TikTok, and so many amputees messaged me that I wanted to do a better job of communicating about some of the things that I had done with my prosthetic situation, because almost all of these amputees are in a similar situation, and I feel bad. And I've been able to do a little bit of upper extremity consultation work where I travel specifically to talk to other prosthetic teams to advise them on how they can help their patients, both locally in Texas and abroad. Right, that's one of my goals. And like you can support me and my content. And in person, I have merch that I don't want you to talk about, just because I'll sell it in person. Just easier, to give me a way to connect with people in person than social media. But specifically, there was a comment about the zombie apocalypse and what situation I could do, and I was like, the metal arm absolutely is an arm. Somebody with me with my background that I could work on and modify specifically to like train and shoot and not worry about it breaking. An arm like this in a zombie apocalypse is gonna break so fast and so easy that you're not going to. Yeah, I would be dead. I would be really disabled, especially with one arm. And the metal arm, one of the reasons that me and the guy who built it are so proud of it is because theoretically, a metal arm, the downfalls of where prosthetics are right now for upper extremity people, it's so niche, and there's so many proprietary materials that have to be like prescribed and bought through medical people, like this cable, for instance, these little screws, the sensors, carbon fiber can only be worked on by people that are like, within that expertise. Harnessing materials are traditionally Dacron. It's a prosthetic specific part. The metal arm, that's the kind of arm that I think that the future would look brighter for amputees independence, in that it's metal. The harnessing parts are 550 cord leather sewed by me. And when something's metal, you can take it somewhere where somebody who works on metal can specifically work on that without having to have the expertise of or all of the kind of equipment that you need to work on plastic parts and medical grade equipment like this arm is made out of. So yeah, if I were going to be using an arm for the zombie apocalypse, it would definitely be the metal arm, because I could go anywhere and a welder could mess with it, and I could drill into it and not worry about sacrificing its integrity. Versus like a carbon fiber arm with robotics, I this whole shell was made to specifically toughen up the arm because I broke it so many times. I don't know if you saw early in this video, I was messing with this thumb. This thumb is broken. I recently broke a pinky mowing my lawn, just trying to use a bionic to mow my lawn. I didn't even include that in the video about mowing my lawn because I broke it and I was so upset. I just like, I'm not going to even make content about this. I'm just going to do this and just get out of the way and go back to using my metal arm. But yeah, there's so many parts on this that are super vulnerable. This is plastic. It breaks pretty easily. There's some hands that use all metal here because this is super vulnerable, really thin plastic. If it falls off or if you jam it really hard, it is very vulnerable to breaking. I've broken this part so many times. This is a work of art. It is tough, but nothing. It's not in the light year. It's not in the same not light year. it's not in the same realm of durability as the metal arm. So yeah, if I were using a prosthetic for the zombie apocalypse, it'd be the metal arm, and specifically that one. We built it in Texas. I think about, I've thought about that situation so many times where I'm like, yeah, with that metal arm, could I protect myself better, stop myself from zombie bites? You know, obviously I have a big background in luckily survival and stuff like that is one of the only things that you do in the Marine Corps infantry. So that, you know, I did take those skills and apply them after the Marine Corps to be able to do cool things like, you know, travel and jungles and climb mountains and stuff like that. So zombie apocalypse, are we to the point? I think that metal arm is to the point where I could do better in the zombie apocalypse than I would, somebody with my level injuries would have done like 10 years ago. But that's such a specific arm. Like these ones, they're not in that category yet because this is not waterproof. You know what I mean? It's not resistant to rain. If I'm gonna break it mowing the lawn, it can't take the, you know, the pressure of shooting a gun, or even holding the gun. You know what I mean? Like recoil. You need limbs to be able to absorb so much. Elbows, your wrist, your joints. They're doing so much to protect your body that I don't think that how tough things have to be to get to the point to be able to do things like that is why people are spending billions on robots, not prosthetics, because you know it's just easier to build robots than it is to build things for amputees that there's so few of us. There's just so few of us, so you don't see as much investing in that technology. But specifically with the zombie apocalypse, I think that the metal arm would do the best. And I have asked, nobody else has worked on it besides the one metal guy, but I have asked other people, and specifically going to the Ukraine and stuff like that, do you think you could work on this arm and mod it if I needed you to? I have broken it one time before boxing, you know, my megalo boxing fans. I did break it one part that was not made by us, that was replaced specifically for the Ukraine trip. So now it's way tougher. But I did ask other people, hey, I got to get overseas. Can you fix this on the spot? And they gave me their knowledge about metalwork, and they're like, hey, we could work on this. Maybe we're not as good as this specific engineer. This specific engineer is, he's better. He's at another level than himself. You know what I mean? He does stuff for SpaceX and builds. There's levels to metalwork, and his work is above the majority of people in the U.S. So yeah, the arm that I would use for zombie apocalypse or whatever, I already have used it to climb Kilimanjaro, swam with it, shoot guns with it. I want to try to do a Spartan race with it later on this year. Much less if you can use it to train, lifting weights and putting yourself in the elements, then that gives you an idea of how good it would do for things like an apocalyptic event. And so that arm specifically, yes. These other arms with the cutesy little hands and stuff like that, they're not on that level. And one of my goals is to make enough content to educate people about why they're not at that level, because so many amputees have reached out personally to talk about that, and it makes me sad. So I want to do as much as I can to make the valuable content for them and for you guys about prosthetics and where they are right now. But yeah, a little bit of an apology video for the audio last time. I'm trying still learn how to edit, and I want to get better at it, but I still have a lot of things that I have to improve on, and the audio was bad. So I'm so grateful for the support on YouTube, and just wanted to share that. Okay.